Well, hello, everyone. This is Andrew McKee with Life's a Faire, saying hello again, and I hope things are going well for you. I don't know, hopefully people will be getting on here in a second. But yeah, I guess until then, I'll just talk a little bit and tell you a little bit about what's been going on. Yeah, I've done a lot of cool stuff uh, with my setup again. For those of you who have hello, Fugly. Ah, thanks for joining us. But yeah, I've done a bit more cool things with my setup. Still using the same camera, but each time the quality improves, I think dramatically. It's been a big deal, so that's been a lot of fun seeing that difference. The the difference is pretty much what I've done is I updated my LUT, LUT, which is just a way to add effects to the video. Hello, hello. Always good to see you. Oh, yay. Okay. A lot of people are jumping on now. Excellent. But yeah, I made a lot of changes to the camera, the LUT, and the effects on there to make it look a lot better. And anybody can do that. It's in Photoshop. It's pretty easy. You can do it in some other programs too, free ones like GIMP and everything. So it's a nice feature to have. So definitely something to check out. I'm actually going to show you what I mean by that because, well, I just think it's kind of cool. So uh, I corrected my LUT, and I also did a little more color correction, and I also added a sharpener. And I didn't even realize how blurry the image was until I added the sharpener. It's just a small little touch, but I thought, hey, let's give that a try. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. So here it is without the sharpener. Now be prepared because this is really surprising. Wow, right? Really just changes it completely. It's surprising how much of a difference that makes. And then I added a little more color correction just to make the background a little darker. And then here's without the LUT. And wow, I mean, huge difference, right? I think it's quite dramatic. Uh, very, very different. So yeah, here it is with the LUT again, and then color correction, and then the sharpener, and it's just a small little bit of a sharpen on there. Yeah, 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 and it makes a world of difference. It's just a few little things that you can put into your software with, well, some software anyway, with your setup with a webcam. If you're using OBS, it's not too difficult once you just go through a few tutorials. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will put out a tutorial on that in the near future. We'll see. I'm kind of making a little list now. So if it's something y'all seem interested in, let me know. Because just how to do something like this, it's surprising and surprisingly easy. So yeah. Anyway, that's something new. Now, okay. I want to ask. I want to ask if anyone has it feels like it took my glasses off. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's exactly how it is. But I want to ask. I hope everybody saw last Thursday's show. It was great. I really liked it. The best part about it for me was the fact that I got to see a group that I really had not seen before. Um, very, very nice. That's always great. Let me put that up so you can kind of see who I'm talking about, just for those who haven't seen it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, right. And Langer's Ball, I had never seen before. They're more Minnesota, Central West Coast, that kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, in Colorado, awesome. Well done, well done, well done. So yeah, they're a rocking group, and it was really great to get to meet them and talk with them and just see them. It was great. That's what I'm trying to really do as much as I can with Life's a Faire, to try to get you groups that you may not have seen, and to match them up with maybe a group like Judas and Magnolia, who you've probably seen at like Sherwood and some other fairs if you're in this area. If not, well, then you got to see them who you hadn't seen before, which is great. But yeah, fun group. So yeah, to try to mix it up, and so you get to see a little bit of everything. in this time of we can't go to Ren fairs right now, mixing it up and seeing new groups, I think is about the best of all possible worlds. So that's why I'm trying to do it. Niederwald, Texas. Wow, that just sounds Norse on so many ways. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a different plane. But there are plenty of places in Texas that do feel like you're on a different plane, but we won't go there. But yeah, the last show, great. If you didn't see it, check it out because it was a lot of fun, and yeah, just had a great time. So yeah, something to look at. So I don't know. Hopefully you're liking the whole. You're liking the graphics. I'm trying to do a little more of that in here, just to kind of show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Nice little reference, my own little whiteboard up here, except with more color, and also not a whiteboard because I'm going to be honest, I can't draw. Not really my thing. I know some of you out there are really great artists that way. For me, it's music. That's my artistic jam. That's how I express myself. Always good stuff. Now, I should go ahead and tell you, since a few of you are on now, that, and I know most of you know this, and I think I've said this before, that if you want to support a stream that you're looking at, whether it's a music stream or what this is, which I'm still trying to figure out what this is, but a little musings of Andrew stream, share it. Share the stream on your page, and so that your friends can check it out too, and definitely like it. So yeah, like, share, and it's a good way to support those performers. So not just me, everybody else. So if you got a second, do that right now. Woohoo! See what we can do, if that will help a lot. I'm always curious to see how much of a difference it makes. I know it makes a noticeable difference, but it's surprising how much of a difference. So I'd like to see that. So share it if you can. I'd appreciate it. Okay. Now, here's the other good news of stuff that's going on. We have hit a point where we're kind of past Life's a Faire 1.0. We hit it, where we got there. It's been, the last 2 months have been crazy. There have been 2 of us doing everything, all the technical stuff, all the graphics, all the promotion, the marketing, and then of course the brainstorming about we can do this and we can do that. It's been a huge process. So, and I just saw Alyssa's comment about the shirt. Yes, I should say, yes, this is a, like you do, Firefly. It's been a while since Firefly's been on, but not that long. So yes. But yeah, we finally got to that point. So now we're looking at consistency with releases. I mean, we got it with the videos. The podcast has been rough trying to make that consistent week to week, but we're there. The podcast is on Patreon today. So if you're a member on our Patreon, go ahead and let me put this up too, the podcast information. But yeah, if you're a member on our Patreon, you can listen to it right now. But it's going to go live in general tomorrow, and you can see it on the Apple Podcasts, and you can go to our page on lifesaffair.com and see it. So yeah. He's at least commenting on that on there now, that there are only 2 of us in 15-hour work days. Yeah, that was 15-hour work days. I remember those. Those were actually a nice vacation from the 16 to 18-hour work days we were doing sometimes. And I'm not exaggerating there either. Yes. That's kind of the thing. You work on that, and it has been crazy, but we're finally ahead of it. We got the basic structure down, and things are going to be coming out a lot more smooth now. The podcast is going to be weekly, and we're good there. You can count on that coming out on Patreon on Monday, and to the general public on Tuesday. And yeah, and the Thursday shows are doing a good job. So yeah. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, thank you for saying that. I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. When all this started, we were talking about it, and originally the concept was, we'll work on it for the next several months, and maybe we'll start in July, or if it comes down to it, August or September. That was the thinking right there. And yeah, when all this started, we realized we have to do this now. So we just dove in and started everything from scratch. Yeah, somebody today was telling me it's like building the hang glider after you jump off the mountain, and I kind of like that. That was a good analogy. So it was crazy. It was crazy. And again, I just want to say thanks to Lee for not reaching through the phone or the webcam several times and strangling me, because there were a few times, honestly, I probably deserved it, but we got through it. We did. So I'm so glad it's been going as well as it has. So yeah, if you want to, but again, with the podcast, what we do is the groups we had last week that I just told you about, they're on the podcast. So now you get to hear what they thought about the show and a little bit more about them. And especially for those of you who had not seen Langer's Ball before, this answers a lot of the questions you probably had about them. I mean, it answered a lot for me. And that's kind of why I do the podcast, because I get to learn all of this stuff about groups. Some of them I've known for years that I just didn't know a lot of that stuff. And it's sort of like a nice interview and behind the scenes. Wow, I didn't get Tom Petty on my brain when I made that statement, but Kristen did. Good for you. That was good. Free falling. I like it. I like it. But yeah, the podcast, I'm really happy that that's going well. So check that out and you'll get to hear more. It's a good extension from the show. And you might want to check out the show again before or after you listen to the podcast, because they do support each other very well. Okay. So yeah, the podcast is great. Now, I don't know how many of you saw this morning. I finally got to, yeah, at least commenting upon the whole ditto. No, Lee, you've been great the entire time. I haven't had an issue with you at all. No, I'm joking. Actually, she's been insanely patient. I think because she could tell a lot of the time I was working my butt off, and day after day after day. So you couldn't really say I was being lazy at all through this. I made some mistakes with priorities sometimes, and maybe thought I could finish something and couldn't, but I was always working. So, and she was really patient. So thank you. Seriously. You were very good. And I'm not just buttering her up so that she, continues to not strangle me, although that's not a bad idea. I wish I thought of it. Okay. But okay, how many of you saw this morning that I finally got to release that Health to the Company group sing-along video that I've been working on since my birthday bash show a few weeks ago? Yeah, I originally had tried to set it up for that, but it was just too ambitious. And the birthday show, I liked it. I was really proud of it, but I couldn't, if I tried to put it on there, it would have been okay. And I wasn't okay with that. So we waited, and I made sure to do a good job with it. And I took the extra time and went back and forth. Lee and I did editing back and forth to kind of say, okay, is this good? No, okay. And the rendering took between 3 and 4 hours for that 6.5-minute song, that video. All of those videos all stacked on top of each other from different people, and all the effects I used, it was intensive. So I'd do a rendering, and then I'd be like, okay, let's check this out, and be like, oh no, this doesn't work here. Okay. And then we'd have to go back. So it was a process, but I learned a lot from it. And I won't say if, I'll say when we do something like that again, which we will, it'll go a lot smoother. And that's been a lot of the last 2 months. It's not because we just kind of jumped in and tried to make it all happen. It was everything we've done. It's been like, okay, I'm not sure the best way to do this. So let's try this, let's try that, and then figure out what works. But you're taking like 3, 5, sometimes 10 times the amount of time you would normally take to figure that out. But once you do, it's not as much of a problem anymore. And that's kind of where we are. So yeah, with that, it'll be a lot easier in the process. Oh, you heard the birds. Yay. Okay. Yeah. Let me bring that up a little bit just to kind of show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Here's the, yeah, here's the, I put a little video this time so you can kind of see it. But yeah, what I ended up doing was just bringing in the different groups and bringing them in one at a time. Started with Cedric coming in, and then Mark came in, and then April came in on the flute. And I, the tough part was the mixing, because it wasn't just putting the video together. I had to take everybody's audio track, put them in my recording software. I use Reaper, and mix all of that together and figure that out, where I wanted to put them in, how to blend them. And that was a huge challenge. There were a lot of technical issues on how to make that work alone. And how I did that dictated a little bit on the order of how people came in, because some things, no, that doesn't sound as good. Oh, this sounds better. And for some of them, they would record, vocals and an instrument at the same time, and trying to balance those together and in the mix was a little tough. So it did take some time. And also, I never actually asked anybody to play instruments other than some of the early musicians who came in. A lot of the people I was just like, oh yeah, just sing along with the chorus on Health to the Company at the end. And some of them whipped out instruments, and I should have known better, because a lot of the people I know through Facebook and online, yeah, I mean, they love music. I should have known. So yeah, so they brought in some of that. So that took a little more work too, to put all that together. But yeah, if you can see up here, the girl on the top, Dorothy, in the blue playing guitar, when she sent the video in, she said, "Oh, I hope the birds weren't too loud." And I was thinking, what, do you live near an aviary? What? I don't get it. But then I heard the video, and yeah, there were these loud birds chirping and singing along in the background while she was playing guitar and singing. And her playing guitar and singing sounded great. So I was like, And originally I thought it was going to be tough, but then I started to realize the birds were actually singing along in key, or at least pretty close. So I was kind of like, wait, this might work. And I think it did. It did. I was so surprised and pleased. It added such a nice crescendo to the end. Yeah, well, Elizabeth, yeah. If I remember correctly, you said that the melody, the key I chose for it was a little on the low side for you, which, to be fair, it was. It totally was. And that was a decision I made early on when I was trying to do a quick arrangement. I had never played that song on, I'd never actually played that song on guitar or really sang it before this. I'd always played recorder on it with other people for 20 years. That's what I did. This was like the first time I ever really sang it. I was a little worried about the lyrics. I was like, okay, I know this, but it was a very quick arrangement that I put together that I liked, I was happy with, and I went with a key that worked for me. But I'm glad that I'm glad that it worked out. And really, Elizabeth, the penny whistle worked great. I think you did a great job with that, and I'm sure you could hear it, right? Because it came in and sounded great. Originally, I was a little worried because April was playing the flute, and yeah, she jumped with her flute and the penny whistle. I was worried they might not balance very well, but no, actually, they worked really well. She tended to play a little bit more of a bass part for April, and you tend to play more of the melody, and it worked. So if you listen to it, I think you'll agree. No, I don't think I want to let them see the behind the scenes. Wow. Yeah, there were a few takes on this. I'm not going to lie. It was, yeah, I ended up setting up my tablet with as a teleprompter and put it underneath the camera. So just so that I would have the chords handy. I was like 98% sure I had it down, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, every once in a while I'd make a mistake on the chords, and I'd ruin a take, and I'd be like, oh. So if you saw the behind the scenes, a lot of it would be me cursing loudly now and then. So yeah, I think this was a good move not to do that behind the scenes video. I'm just gonna say, Yeah, I'd just play something and you'd hear me play a wrong note or a wrong chord and I'd be like, oh, it's like that. Yeah. So I guess gave you my impression of behind the scenes, what it was like. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that you like the balance. It was, and thanks, Carol, for saying that about the music. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a process trying to get all of that going. Luckily, I'm a sound engineer, so that made it a little easier. I know how to do a lot of that, but of course, it also meant that I took it very seriously because I mean, all of you spent so much time being a part of this. I wanted to make sure that all of you could hear yourselves in there. I didn't want to just bury it all in a blend of sound where you can barely pick your part out. And I tried to make sure everybody could hear themselves, at least a little. Sometimes it's a little hard, but at least a little bit you could hear yourself. And I think I succeeded. So, yeah. You know, and Steve Benelli down there, who he's from the Whiskey Bay Rovers out of Louisiana. He put his part in there and did a great job. And when I was doing this, I was reminded of when I mixed and mastered the Whiskey Bay Rovers last CD, because they would have like 8 or sometimes 10 or 12 different vocal parts all trying to blend together with harmonies. And they were still figuring out how to record at the time. So some of it was not always recorded optimally. So sometimes they didn't line up very well, and I had to do a lot of work to make that work. So I was kind of reminded of that, but the result was very good. I think they were very happy with it, and now they learned a lot from that experience. And next time they do a CD, it won't be a problem. And that's kind of how it is. The first time is always the toughest. You all know that. Oh yeah, Carol, definitely going to do something like this again. That's the plan. I don't know when, maybe a few weeks. But yeah, I think it worked out really well. I was very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. Yeah. And this was a good learning experience, proof of concept, if you will. So what that says to me is we can do this. So yeah, I'm thinking this could be a regular thing. So yeah, is that something y'all would be interested in? Is that something y'all would want to participate in, or just at least watch? Because yeah, we can mix it up. We can do instrumental stuff. We can do vocal stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that can be done with this. So yeah, let me know or let us know rather, if that's something you'd like to do, because Lee and I think are pretty excited about it. Yeah, actually, yes. If you have suggestions, that is a very good point, Lee. If you have suggestions for a particular thing, let us know that too. That would be a lot of fun. I mean, the whole Health of the Company is, of course, the obvious group song that everybody knows. But, you know, with this experience, I realized I could do more. I went with, 11 people joining in, 12 if you count Cedric's solo where he played with himself. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? Oh, well. Where during the solo, he sent me 2 files. And when we did the pub sing, back when all of this started, the Sherwood pub sing from my house, and did that, we did Health to the Company, and they gave me the solo. And originally we were going to share it, and I was just in the zone. So I stuck with it and apologized afterwards. And he said, no, you did a great job. Don't. So yeah, if you haven't seen the pub scene, go back and listen to that. It was really good. But yeah, so because of that, I told him right at the get-go, you get the solo, man. Because yeah, I took it last time, so you get it. So he sent me 2 videos, one with the solo and one with his cello part that he was playing on the throughout the whole song. And I was kind of like, huh. So I thought putting them in both corners was kind of an interesting idea, and I liked it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So yeah, I mean, this was a great proof of concept, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I spent a lot of time learning. So yeah, we can do it a lot quicker next time. I think the turnaround could be a matter of days, and we could put more people easily. Now I get it. So yeah, and I mean, if you don't want to participate in a project like that, no problem. I totally get that. It's not an issue. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I am never going to be the guy who really insists that you join in on a song. I mean, yeah, I've sang songs to make fun of that fact, but yeah, I mean, I love it when y'all join in, but I'm never going to be the guy that insists because, uh, yeah, I mean, some people just like to listen, and that's perfectly all right. Oh, wow. Oh, hey, yeah. Rankin and oh, yes. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Yes, I have been working on that song, and I've played it a few times at Faire because it's just I love that tune. Um, so yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that, Kristen. Good suggestion. And Hero of Canton, Alyssa. Yeah, that that could work. Wow, we could do some really fun stuff with songs like that. It would be yeah, there's possibilities there. Oh yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, the Hobbit's dance. Yeah, that's that is a fun tune, and it's always fun to play. Hobbit's dance is one of those tunes where if you it jumps around a little bit. It's easy to play, kind of, but it jumps around. It's not like a chromatic scale where you're just moving your fingers up. You kind of move and jump around a little bit. So it's a little more challenging, but it's not over the top challenging. It's not too crazy. And it flows and usually went up or down in direction. It doesn't jump all over the place. So it at least works fairly well for people with who are just beginning. It's a good beginner song that is challenging, I think. Uh, but it's just fun to play. For those of you who don't know what Hobbit's Dance is, okay, here. We're going to do this. I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but why not? Let's see. And just kind of continues from there. I based it on medieval tunes, and yeah, I mean what I've always impressed me about medieval music in general is it didn't it didn't tend to repeat the same way that later music did. Uh, it starts off and then you just run with it. It always has the feeling of somebody has a melody, and oh, I like that melody, and then they just pitch the melody around to different instruments, and they all just have fun with it. And eventually somebody says, oh, I think I'm gonna kind of do something different here, and you just kind of go into a tangent. And sometimes you come back to a variation of the main melody, sometimes you don't. And that was sort of where that kind of came from. So yeah, something like that might be fun too. We could even do something like that if I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to get people who play music but aren't necessarily the normal stage performers and just kind of do it for fun to do something like this, because I think that could be interesting and an opportunity to just have a great deal of fun, a good project. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Okay. So let's take out that real quick, and I love I can just click it with one button and it's gone. Always fun. But yeah, that has been I think we are going to do a lot more of those. So definitely look for that in the near future. Always good stuff. Oh, don't worry. Notes, anything we do, I can put together at the very least chords and probably sheet music too. Um, I'm a musician, but I'm also paper trained, so I can transcribe. It's no problem. Um, but yeah, we can do it that way. I'll have recordings if you figure things out better by ear and memorize it and then play it back. Some people are like that. There's no right or wrong way with music, really. What makes music music is if somebody likes it, it's music. If nobody likes it, it's noise. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, some people prefer sheet music, and I get it. Uh, like I said, everybody's different, so not a problem. So definitely look out for that. That is the plan. Okay, now I'm going to teach you a very good lesson for a performer. This is very important. I mean, it's true with other things too, but yeah, in this world of staying at home and working with other people and promoting yourself online for different things, this is very good advice. Do not make fun of your marketing director at all, because weird things happen when you do. Some of you might have seen in the show notes during the description of this that one of the topics I was going to discuss had to do with gerbils and ferrets. Well, Lee was asking me earlier today about, oh, hey, I need to, or was it today? Or was it? I don't even remember. She was saying something and or typing something, and I looked at it, and it was a typo, and it kind of looked like she'd typed gerbils. So I made the response, oh yeah, I'll be talking about gerbils versus ferrets. Which one's better? And then of course she put it in the show notes. Yeah. So lesson learned: do not make fun of your marketing director. And I'll tell you why. I can tell you why right now, because things like this happen. Yeah, that's right. This is happening. So let's talk about what you prefer: gerbils or ferrets. Everybody go. That's right. I'm actually doing this. This is like the first time I've only, okay, ferrets. Okay, ferrets by far. Interesting. Oh, okay. Okay. You're giving the gerbils and the ferrets different items to help accentuate the options. That's interesting. Okay. Now I think that's a little more detailed, because you never know. We're back to Princess or Dragon. Oh no. Okay, well, if it's a dragon gerbil or a ferret princess, hmm. Ferrets are practical. Okay, but they can also be sneaky. So I don't know. That's it's practical and sneaky. So, Oh, really bad? Well, why was it bad? You said ferrets were, for your roommates, ferrets were bad. So it's the smell, and that's the only thing? Cats for Carol. That's fair. So, okay. So the consensus seems to be ferrets. It's a smell thing. Okay. Yeah, that could be an issue. I guess, is there ever a situation? Oh, they weren't litter trained. Ooh. Yeah, that would be a problem. But I mean, they can be litter trained, right? Is that, if you said they weren't litter trained, that implies that they can be. So that seems like that would be an okay thing. No? Okay. Uh, Yeah, I'm. It's a tough one, because I'm kind of with the smell thing. I kind of want to go gerbils. I think I think it's a little safer, so that's how I'm going to go with. But Lee's saying that ferrets win. I don't know. What do you think? Well, okay. I guess I might be on the losing side on this one. Oh, I can't believe I had this discussion. This is always a new situation for me. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, never boring. Okay, well, I do need to say that 8 to 10 cages. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of gerbils. Oh, goofballs. Okay. Well, we have a show coming up on another show, of course, on Thursday, like we do every Thursday. And this one is going to be good because, yeah, I think you're going to like this. And you saw Fugly making comments earlier. He is one of the people involved. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get Fair to Midland to be a part of this show and talk about it here today because, well, they're asleep right now because they are in France right now. So that was a fun thing to get a show from them when you're dealing from France. It's definitely a different dynamic getting that set up. Definitely not doing it live still because that would be crazy. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to be commenting during the show, but we'll figure something out. We definitely will figure something out for them. But I know Fair to Midland, I mean, they traveled there, I believe, last year. And it was, yeah, so they weren't there at the beginning of Sherwood this year at all. Some of you may have noticed that. And aren't at any of the other fairs that they normally play at, which is a shame. So I figured a lot of people would miss them. So I went out of my way to try to say, hey, can you guys do something? Because it'd be really awesome if you could. And they were into it. They thought it was a great idea and got really excited and jumped in. And yes, they are wearing their berets in France while drinking wine and eating bread. That is exactly what they did. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, Fugly. Now, Fugly went. I mean, he is an amazing performer. Very interesting to watch. And listen to. He does these cool things with kind of like a pop-up video thing where he talks about the songs and instruments he's playing during it with a text that pops up on the window, and it's really cool and interesting. He does a great job with it, and he even put an animation before his show. So this is going to be pretty cool. I think you're going to like this. This is going to be a good Thursday show. Yeah, France. Well, okay. Well, that's another reason to watch the show and get to know Fair de Midland, because if you can get to France, maybe you can crash on their couch. That's what I always hope for. But it does look like it's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward. So again, yes, it'll be streamed to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I love that we can do that. And I'm still surprised not many people do, because there are people that still are not on Facebook. Just like there are people that don't really use YouTube very much for things like that. They stick to Facebook. Having the option, I think, is just very handy. So I think it's a good move, and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, definitely come out Thursday and to see a gathering of Faire with Fugly and Fair de Midland. You're going to love it. So yeah, let's see. Now, we do have a lot of, well, I told you that we were past version 1.0 of Life's a Faire. We finally got there, and we got a lot of new things coming out now. Some of you may have seen that I'm going to be in a BOG off in about a week and a half on Wednesday with Marc Gunn, my old bandmate. Now, this will be interesting because we did this before, and we both did BOG, played it back to back, and yeah, I'm a little faster than he is, just a little, just a little bit, little bit, but yeah, that's going to be happening again, and we're going to be Life's a Faire is going to be supporting that, but it is going to be streamed on the Brobdingnagian Bards page. but you definitely can find the link on our page. Don't worry. Uh, it will be awesome. So it'll be interesting. I'm gonna this time. The first time I was easy on him. Playing Rattling Bog. Yeah, it was Bog Down in the Valley. I just went ahead and did my standard my Rattling Bog, and it was Mark has been practicing. Here's a little news for you, Carol. So have I. I'm going to be bringing out the big bog guns here. Yes, this is not your standard Bog Down in the Valley for me. So yeah, I'm going to be there doing it. So I don't know. Maybe he's been practicing. We'll see. I hope it's been a lot, because he's going to need it. He's going to need it. Yeah, and that's a good point, Chris, because it's not just who plays it faster, it's who plays it better. I think faster certainly is a part of that. But one thing I have is I have this ability to enunciate my words. I'm not saying Mark doesn't have that ability, but I think I do have a few advantages. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Bog guns, yes. You're right. Better doesn't necessarily equal faster, but it can. It's just one element in the overall, because you can go so fast that you can't be understood, or you can't get the words out and you fumble. And if you do that, then you might be going faster, but it's not better. So it's a weird balancing act that you have to achieve. I've always looked at it as, yes, you want to go as fast as you possibly can while still being understood, and while avoiding hyperventilating. That's key, because I've almost been there. I've hyperventilated doing that song on stage before. Here's a little tidbit. Never do Bog Down in the Valley in front of a pub scene with a bunch of people behind you that have control of the tempo, because I usually do that song in a few minutes. That day, I was doing it in 7 minutes because they kept keeping it slow, and I kept trying to speed it up, and they wouldn't let me. So when you're doing blah 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 blah, and you can get that, you can keep from hyperventilating for like 3 minutes. It's okay. But if you're doing for 7 minutes, I almost passed out and had to sit behind the stage after that song at the pub sing that time. So I learned a valuable lesson. So it is a balancing act. Yeah. Oh, and sing faster. Yes, then I could play. And that's true. That tends to be what happens. But here's an interesting tidbit, Jan. I've been working on it, and I can play it a lot faster than I could even last year. So I think this might be an interesting bug off. Just saying. Could be good. Something to check out. Okay. Yeah. So we'll check that out. Now, of course, that sounds like a great event, and yeah, that's wonderful. You got something new coming up. That's not all. We've got other things too. We're doing a special, let's just say a special gaming show. This will be a few weeks from now, on the 3rd. Yes, on the 3rd of June. And Paulo Garbanzo, who you might be familiar, he does a gaming series. Here, let me go ahead and put that up here, because it's just, a gaming series called Nat 21, where he games online with other performers on Sunday nights. And oh yes. But he does that, and it's if you like that kind of thing, it's a lot of fun. And even if you don't, it's still a lot of fun, because it's performers being goofballs, which is always amusing. So it's something to check out. That's the information on it. If you're curious, this is the kind of what it looks like when they're doing it. They all get in character and get a little funny with it, and go through the process. Oh, Paul's on here. Excellent. But yeah, definitely go check that out, because it's a whole lot of fun. And what Paul and I are going to do is we're going to have a little mini game with some of you. So what we're going to do, and we're not going to do this tonight, but we're gonna start this going where you can submit interest to us. It's in the next few days we'll get that going, and we'll pick. I think 3 people is what we decided on, Paul, to join us up on there, and we're going to have a little choose your own adventure kind of gaming session, where you get to you get have these adventures laid before you, and you have to decide what you're going to do. Now, I'm not saying you have to, take it very seriously and dress up like everyone here is, but you do. So, yes, it's going to be fun. You get to be in character and have a blast and just be goofballs. Now, his games normally last about 4 hours. So, yeah, we're not going to quite go that crazy with it. It's going to be a mini game, under an hour, I'm sure, something like that. But it should be a blast and a lot of fun. So, if any of you are interested in that, start thinking about that, and keep an eye out for the next few days, and we'll have something up so that you can submit an application to be a part of that. Yeah, we'll have an event listing too in the next few days. But yeah, it should be fun and a goofy thing to check out. So yeah, because gaming is just fun, especially when you're trapped in your house and all of that, doing board games or role-playing games or computer games or whatever. I mean, that's what you do, and it's a lot of fun. So this is something you definitely should check out and enjoy. So yeah, it's definitely something to check out. And Paulo is an expert storyteller. He is not only gamed for years, he's been in charge of games I've been in when we've traveled and been on the road, but he also is doing a Ren Adventures thing where when all of this is over, he's going to travel abroad and do gaming as they tour, like castles in England, and game in the castles. Now, that's just wow. So that's something to check out too. But for now, take a look at his gaming sessions, and I think he's gone through 4 full gaming sessions so far. So yeah, I mean, you've got a little material to take a look at and see what you think. So definitely a fun time. So woohoo! Oh, and you'd think that would be all, right? Because we've got that in a week and a half, and then a week after that, we've got the Nat 21 preview game with Paul. So that's going to be awesome. But no, we've got other stuff in the works. This is a little far out there, but there's even a Faire merchant project that we're working on. It's still in the early stages. It's kind of a super secret thing. I can't really talk about it yet, and even if I did, it might change a little bit. So, yeah, we might save some of the early stuff on that for Patreon. I think say a little bit more about that on our Patreon. But yeah, it's a little long ways. You'll hear more about it here soon. So yeah, keep an ear out for that. But that's going to be cool. So there's going to be a lot more of that. So this is awesome. Oh, and another thing. Yes, Paul did just do episode 4 last night. And yeah, there are 3 others up on YouTube. So, oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Now, the good thing about YouTube is that the quality on YouTube, I'll be honest, it's a little better than Facebook. Just a little. They accept full HD videos in 1080p. Facebook limits you to 720p, which is kind of like half HD. So, yeah, you get a slightly better quality. But, I mean, Facebook is still very good. So you get to enjoy it. Yes, I'm glad you asked that, Carol, because that is one. I was just about to mention this. One of the things I am working on now that we're past what, like I said, Life's a Faire 1.0, I actually have time, because before this, I barely had time to eat. Yeah, it was, yeah. So what I'm doing is now I'm looking at doing some of my own stuff as well. Some Andrew McKee, the Irish Bard shows online, some live streams. Now, what I was thinking of was doing a Wednesday night normal show where I do a live stream of me playing some music one time. I thought of maybe doing a thing where I also I thought about maybe having a movie night where a group of us kind of all watch movies. Um, I thought that would be kind of fun, especially like a Ren Fair type themed movie, fantasy or movie or something like that. That would be fun to watch. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, is that something y'all would be interested in, to maybe one night a month kind of get together and have a cool movie night with all of us watching a movie? Um, I can probably figure there are a few different ways to make that happen. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at that. I'm also maybe looking at doing some maybe some tutorial videos. For those of you who were here at the beginning of this live stream, I was telling you about how I tweaked the video on this live stream on my webcam so that it looked a lot better. And I don't know. Some people have asked me about how I do that, and I thought about doing some short, basic videos like this is how you do this, and another one of this is how you do that, and maybe showing you a little bit about how to stream. So that was a thought, and I'm open to other ideas. This is all still pretty new, but I thought about maybe doing one show just on Facebook and YouTube, and then maybe doing a extended show on Patreon and something like that, where yeah, like I'll try to have at least one new song every month. That maybe more than that, we'll see. But now that I have some time, it's possible. And now that being said, I also have some time, and I'm going to be spending time each week to work on that new CD. So Carol, yes, I am going to have a new CD. I'm not quite sure how soon. Originally, the idea was to have one out around June or July. But with all this started, I've spent the last 2 months not working on uh, working on CDs or even really my music much at all. I've been working on this to try to help out other performers and do that as much as I could, and other and merchants, and make that happen. So I've kind of put my own stuff aside, but Princess Bride is certainly an option. I mean, but there can also be some other types of movies. Uh, I mean, there are so many possible. I mean, it's not just Monty Python, The Holy Grail, and The Princess Bride. I mean, there are some. I mean, you could be fantasy with everything from like Legend and Willow to more obscure ones. Like there's one that's not too bad from the '70s called The Pied Piper with Donovan as the Pied Piper. I always think that's hilarious and cool. I mean, there's a lot of weird options. So you can go really obscure or really famous, and there are some good options. So what? Yeah, if that's something y'all would be interested in, I can make that happen. But yeah, a lot of music possibilities. I'm really excited to put all of that out. Oh my. Okay. So yeah, I guess Journey to Promethea. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. I might save Journey to Promethea for I actually do have a copy of that film. I might save that if we ever want to do like a riff track where we have some. I get some other people to come in and we just make fun of the movie the whole time. We might do something like that, maybe, but otherwise, God no. So yeah, my movie collection is vast. It is vast. Now, I mean, there are a few different ways to do it. You can just get set up a private screening, and everybody just sort of logs in and watches it remotely. And it's a private room essentially, and you do it that way. It's the equivalent of saying everybody, let's get 10, 20 people over to my house and have a movie watching party. You can do that. The other way is to try to find a movie that is on the major streaming sites like Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, and try that everybody should have access to. So that's a possibility. We'll see. Yes, that's right. Lee was in that film. Trying to, oh God, I'm surprised you actually admitted that. Honestly, that was just a horrible. Is B movie too kind? Maybe a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. B movie's a little too kind. Uh, but yeah, yeah, that's we'll see. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about that one. This is Journey to Promethea. It was a movie that they filmed out of the Louisiana Ren Fair site and used a lot of the cast there and locals as extras in the movie. It was, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my. Sad, sad movie. But, I mean, it's a fantasy film, so there's a long list of really sad, scary fantasy films. The 80s had a plethora of them. Ah, yeah. I think Conan the Barbarian just gave everybody hope and they just started throwing them out like candy. It was wrong. Yeah, my. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, I we can probably figure out doing a movie watching night. I think that would be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm still looking at more things, but definitely going to get a few shows. And I am working on my next CD. Actually, my next two CDs. We've I'm behind because of all this, so this is going to happen. Don't worry. It's great to have some free time finally. This is going to be great. Yeah, tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll actually have some time to work on music, and then Thursday before the live stream show, I'll have a little more time probably. I mean, it's backup time in case I'm running late with stuff, but right now everything's going smoothly, so it's wonderful. Hmm. Oh my. Uh, yeah, yeah. Or you can do really crazy things with a questionable soundtrack, but enough about Lady Hawk. I know some people like the music in Lady Hawk. I'm not one of them, but hey, it's apples and oranges. So yes, I guess this is sort of I'm coming towards the end of this. Everything I really want to talk about. Did y'all have any questions for me? Anything else you wanted to know before I sign out here? Uh, Anything you'd like me to comment on or anything? I think we've mercifully got past the gerbils and the ferrets. Whew. So yeah, if there's anything else, but yeah, I think there's a lot of great things coming up and a lot of good things to look forward to. So a lot of good excitement there. Hmm. So nope, no other questions or anything. Nothing. No. No. Oh, right. There is one more project that we do have coming up, and uh, that's a storyteller project. Um, yeah, that's still in the early stages too. So I don't know how much I can talk about that. We've got actually a lot of possibilities. One of the cool things is with the way I the dynamically and I have is we'll just put the phone on speakerphone and I'll be working on graphics and she'll be working on marketing and uh, or sometimes vice versa these days. And we'll just brainstorm while we're doing it and we'll just talk about, hey, what if we did something like this? And we've got a long list. Uh, and we're going to be looking for some volunteer cast members to be a part of the storytelling thing. I should say that. So if any of you are interested in, might be interested in participating in something related to storytelling, I don't know. I'm not sure how much I should really say about this, but what we need is some volunteer cast members to act out some stuff. So if you can, if you'd be interested in that and dressing up and doing some acting and letting the histrionics flow forth and the words drip like honey from the tongue upon the place beneath. Yeah, let us know. Let us know about that, and yeah, let us know if you'd be interested in signing up for something like that, or at least finding out more. And we'll get your information here through the chat, or you can just send us a message from at the Life's a Faire Facebook page, and we'll talk with you about it from there too. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, and you're thinking, yeah, whoosh, there goes the free time. Kind of, but I knew Brianna would be the like an actor. You say? Yes, yes. That's yeah. I knew she'd be jumping on that. Uh, yeah, that's yeah. I know this sounds like a lot, but we're kind of. Well, Paulo does a few different things during the week. I know he has the Sunday night show with with the Nat 21, but he also does a show where he, well, I mean, you do a lot of things in the other show during the week where you paint figurines and talk about gaming, and that one's pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, I mean, that's on. Oh gosh, that's on that's on Thursday, right? Isn't it? Isn't it, Paulo? I think. Um, so he does some stuff during the week too to something to check out. It's good stuff. Um, but yeah, he will be on with us on June the 3rd. So something to look out for Paulo. Oh yeah, Carmen. Yeah, some audio work that would be good. Uh, yeah, definitely. Paint with Paul on Thursday and 12:30 to 2:30. Okay, I wasn't quite sure on the time. Thank you for that. Yes, and it's really good. Good stuff. One thing about Paulo, I'm just going to tell you because he won't say it himself, but he's a freaking goofball. He really is. You hear him talk, and it's just amusing. At worst, it's amusing, and it's usually a lot better than that. So yeah, it's worth checking out. Definitely go check out those things because it's interesting. You learn a lot, and it's funny as hell. Ah, but yeah, I know. It is a lot of stuff in the pipe now, but we're organized now. We're past the whole how do I do this and I've got to get this done. So we're trying to keep it so that we are not stressed out and we do have extra time. So you're too actually no, I'm not, dude. There are hundreds of people who have backed me up on this, who have seen your show, seen you talk after the show, seen you talk before the show, seen you talk at dinner when you're eating food after the show. Uh, God, it. I almost want to get a group together and just watch you sleep sometime and do a live stream of that because I bet you're funny when you do that too somehow. I don't know how, but you'll find a way. It's just yeah. Oh wow. Actually, that's an interesting idea. Uh, Paulo Garbanzo asleep. I'd probably watch that just to check it out, just because I'd be curious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would. That's weird, but I would. Ah. Oh man. Okay. Well, oh, it's after 8. I try to keep these under an hour. Well, thank you very much for tuning in and uh, and sharing some time with us. And it's as always a blast to talk with you and tell you a little bit about what's going on with Life's a Faire, what's going on with me, and to hear about what's going on with you. So yeah, I look forward to the to stuff this coming up this week. So come around and check out the Thursday show. And remember that, well, life isn't always fair, but it should be. Take care.